What are embedded payments? You make embedded payments as part of a seamless buying experience without the need to go to a separate, intrusive payments page. For instance, when you disconnect your Tesla from a supercharger, you're automatically billed. On your Kindle, a single click on the pay button buys you a new book, and your Spotify subscription is invisibly billed each month. These examples are wildly different, and yet they all follow the same pattern that consists of 3 steps. Banks and PSPs can help merchants provide embedded payments by assisting them in these steps. In order to make any future payment, the consumer must provide their card details once, including the card number known as the PAN. But remember that cards are protected by PCI regulations to prevent card data from leaking. These measures are in place to prevent fraud, because anyone that can lay their hands on other people's card data could make fraudulent transactions. Large merchants such as Amazon are PCI compliant and can directly process consumers' card details. But smaller merchants can't carry the burden of PCI compliance. They need help. Banks and PSPs can store card details for the merchants. But even banks and PSPs want to limit their PCI scope, and they can do so by tokenizing the card data. They can do this by sending a PAN to the API service in the payment networks, such as MasterCard and Visa, receiving a token in return. Just like a PAN, the bank or PSP can use a token to initiate a payment. But in the hands of a fraudster, the token is useless. For anybody other than the party that created the token, it is impossible to use it to initiate a payment. Therefore, the token can be stored in any database with fewer security measures required. The bank generates reference to the token and sends it to the merchant. The merchant can save this reference in their database together with the consumer data without any special PCI requirements. At any point in the future, when an event is triggered like disconnecting a Tesla from the charger, a button on a Kindle is pressed, or when a monthly payment to Spotify is due, the merchant sends a request to an API provided by the bank or PSP. This request contains the reference and amount due. The bank or PSP, upon receiving this request, looks up the reference to find the correct token or PAN and uses it to initiate a regular payment flow that doesn't require any consumer interaction. This process explains the magic of embedded payments, where consumers enjoy a seamless payment experience without repeatedly entering card details.
It also clarifies how banks and PSPs can help merchants to offer embedded payment services to their consumers. At Ximedes, we build tech that powers this innovation, helping banks and PSPs to develop highlighted infrastructure. And this is just one of many examples of how the future is made by Ximedes.